How's it going, Chancellor Caveman Precision? Gonna get the awkward part out of the way. May you please like, comment, subscribe. It's really cool to see people watch these videos and share them. If it is informational, awesome. If not, hopefully they're at least entertaining. But I got that awkward part out of the way. The reason why I'm making this video is I recently purchased some veins, and I just got them in the mail not too long ago. And I was debating on whether I wanted to test them or not. And since 2022 is coming to an end and we got the 2023 season coming up, I want the most forgiving and accurate setup as possible. So that's one of the reasons why I bought them, so I could test them against what I'm shooting now. A lot of good reviews with durability, how quiet they are, how accurate they are. A couple negative reviews on archery forums of people having issues gluing them, but I don't really blame the vein for that, because that's more like user error. I've been lazy too, where I haven't cleaned veins, or I haven't cleaned shafts and prepped the veins. I've had old glue, veins pop off, so it had nothing to do with the veins, more like user error. But what I got in the mail was the DCA Super Sabres 2.0s. First impression straight off the bat is I like that fighter jet look. That's just visual. It has a nice visual look to it, something completely different. Right off the bat you can tell, like, okay, that's a serious archery product that I want to try. That was my thoughts. Right now I shoot the AAE Max Stealths. Been shooting these for about 2 years now. I used to shoot the PM23s, and then I switched to these, and like I said, for 2 years, and they work really great. I don't have any issues with these veins. It's not like I'm don't like these veins. They are solid veins, very accurate. I usually do my accuracy test out to 75 yards. That's where I feel the most confident in my abilities. I've shot really good groups past that, 80, 90, couple groups out to 100. But for like actual accuracy testing and like consistent groups, I can get really consistent groups out to 70 to 75 yards. That's where I feel comfortable doing my testing. You do your testing at whatever yardage you feel comfortable at. The further you can go, the better your testing will be, but you want to go to a yardage that is comfortable and consistent for you to shoot at. Mine's a 70 to 75. Right now I shoot the QAD xodus 100 grains, the full blades. With this same arrow setup, I've had out to 70 yards. I've had these arrows just stacking on each other consistently. So I felt that the way that I shoot and the setup that I have, these are pretty dang accurate, and they're pretty much in the middle the whole time, just dancing around each other. I'm only human, but I was getting consistent groups. So these veins perform great. Like I said, I just want to see if I can get a little bit more accurate setup for the next year. But straight off the bat, my first impression was just kind of a bummer in the packaging, is I had like maybe anywhere from like 2 to 4 veins that were pretty bent. This one is probably the worst. You can tell that the vein is actually wrinkling on the side, which was kind of a bummer to see, especially if I'm trying to test accuracy, stability, forgiveness, all that good stuff. To see the veins that you're testing out brand new kind of bent. So I usually order packs of 100s, and the Max Stealths always come pretty dang straight. I get probably out of 100, I usually have 5 to 6 veins that are a little bent. So those are pretty good odds. I ordered a pack of 40 just to test them out, and yeah, to see a couple of them bent, or like I said, every 2 to 4 veins be bent, was a little bit bummer. But the good news is, when I fletched them, So this discolored one right here was pretty badly bent over, curved. But when I fletched them, they seemed to straighten out. So it doesn't really matter how they look, I guess, when they're in the box. If they're bent like this, so like a lot of them were kind of like that. So I guess if they look like that, but they end up being pretty dang straight on the arrow, that's all that really matters. It doesn't matter how they look in the package. It matters how they look on the arrow and group in the target. So I fletched them with the Bitzenberger. This black line right there is where I used to where I used to fletch my Max Stealths, and I fletched up 8 of these, and I went straight for it. Probably would have been smarter if I fletched one, because I fletched them in with the same mark. I was worried about, since these are slightly higher, I was worried about vein contact when I drew back. I didn't want them touching or sitting on my face, which they don't. Like I said, I fletched up 8 of them and kind of was like, oh, that wasn't the smartest thing. I should have fletched one and seen if that one contacted my face, because if they did, I would have to strip all the veins. And I only ordered a pack of a pack of 40, and that's all the veins that I have left. Probably enough to do 2 to 3 arrows more and have a couple for backups in case I shoot these off or run them into the dirt. So thank God that they passed the first test. So now all I really got to do is shoot them out to some distance. I am gonna change my strings out on the bow that I have now, my EVL 34, to some Twisted X bowstrings. I actually won those in a contest or a giveaway on Instagram. So once I change out the strings, get the bow super tuned, I'm gonna knock tune every single arrow. I do that all the time. I noticed that when I knock tuned every arrow and then shot a broadhead into it, I never had to move my rest. I don't know if I just got lucky. I don't know if my arrows, like, it's spined out correctly. 300 spine, 100 grain fill point, 60 grain insert, 3 fletch on the back with a IP knock. So I might just got the perfectly spined arrow, but I never had to move my rest. I knock tuned every single arrow with the AAEs. Every single arrow was knock tuned. I shot a broadhead at 20 yards and it was dead on the money. Never had to move the rest. Shot the broadhead, boom, fill point right after, stacking each other at 20 yards. Not that far. First time actually shooting the QADs with this setup out to distance was 70 yards. I didn't slowly step back. I didn't shoot 20, then shoot 30, then shoot 40. No, I shot 20, walked straight to 70, shot it at 70, and they were pretty much stacking each other the whole time. So I'm gonna do the same setup, same thing that I do with the Max Stealths. I'm gonna knock tune every single arrow, and I got 6 QADs, so I'm gonna screw 3 broadheads on the Super Sabres, 3 broadheads on the Max Stealths, with also 3 arrows with fill points and another 3 arrows with fill points, and that will be my testing when it comes to that distance. So just waiting on the strings to get in the mail, and I can start doing some serious testing. But the veins are 7.1 grains, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, the real crappy thing is one website says these are 8.2, another website says they're 8.6, another website says they're 7.9. So they're most inconsistent when it comes to the weight. But first things first, I'm gonna weigh them out. First, I'll start with the Max Stealth, then I'll go with the Super Sabres. But first things first, let's turn it on. Hold on, we're having issues. Okay, let me turn on my garage light. There we go. So, these are the max stealths, and that is 442 grains with the max stealths. Take off the max stealths, put those over there, and let's throw on the Super Sabres. Okay, Super Sabres with the weight of 434 grains. So it's definitely lighter. I'm not gonna do the math straight off my head. I'm horrible at math, and especially quick math. But so these definitely have a weight difference, which will actually bump up my FOC by probably 0.001. So yeah, that's pretty much the weight difference. Will that really affect the flight and the drop of the arrow? Probably not, but it's gonna definitely, I wanna test the drag. Since these are longer, but not as high, these are shorter, but a little bit taller, which will drag more. They're both the same helical, so it's not like I changed the Super Sabres helical or different than this one. They're literally the exact same helical, fletched in the same line. The only thing that different is the looks of them and the weights. So that's pretty much it on my first impressions. Yeah, I'm really stoked to see how they fly, and probably try shooting them in a bunch of different conditions. Not super windy, because where I live right now, when it's windy, you can't even hold your bow on target. So a decent wind, and then a day where it's nice and calm, a day where it's overcast, a bunch of days. It'd be cool to do a bunch of different testing if that's possible. If not, a nice calm day to do some testing, some broadhead flight, and some accuracy testing. That's gonna be pretty much my next video on these once I get everything in. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully this was informational. These are the 2.0s. I haven't seen any videos on them. Like I said, I only watched reviews of the first generation, so I haven't seen too much on the second generation, the 2.0s. So hope you liked it. Hopefully it was enjoyable. If not, sorry. And see you on the next one for part 2. Have a good one, and